be sent home and stop annoying us.
I like that.
That's good, yeah.
You got
That's
my
a
vote.
good campaign
Yeah.
slogan. Stop
annoying
us.
us, Debbie
Yeah.
Stabenow. That's
Go
great.
away. Stop annoying us.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard you on Pastor Ewell's show this morning, and you did good there, too. So what else do you know? What else is going on?
Well, a lot of it is just trying to get the message out. I am one of those strange people that has run something larger than my mouth in government, and it's an important thing because we see in Washington this horrible swamp development. One of my favorite, and I think I mentioned on the show this morning, is the observation by a French philosopher who came to our country in the early stages of it.
De Tocqueville?
Yeah, de Tocqueville, yeah. And he's such a wonderful insight. He said, the Republic will survive until the Congress realizes it can bribe its taxpayers with their own money. And that is really what we're seeing. That's why we have this enormous growth in the welfare state, because people like Debbie Stabenow, who was a high practitioner of bribery with our tax dollars, has made us all complicit in this. It's we all have a little piece of the welfare state, and we need to do difficult things now. Because what's happened is we are now spending so far beyond our means that we are borrowing every year the equivalent of our discretionary budget from none other than China. Now that's really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
our grandchildren.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone is harmed by a government that has grown well beyond its constitutional authority. And the one thing we see very, very clearly is that growing government does not make competent government. And the federal government is so far beyond its constitutional authority that we need to do the hard things. We need to stop spending as much money as we're spending. We need to stop doing all of those horrible things. For example, this is a show devoted to people of religious faith. We have driven from the public square any religious expression on a false theory that of separation of church and state. There's nothing in our Constitution that calls for a separation of church and state. What it says is that in the First Amendment that Congress shall establish no religion. At the time of the founding, about 7, as I recall, of the 13 colonies had official church-state religions. And what the founders wanted to ensure is that the federal government that they created, the limited government, did not create a national church. It also says that the Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or, significantly, this is the clause that's never recalled, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof of religion.
Bob, you're talking like a real revolutionary here. I mean,
no, I'm talking like somebody who knows what the Constitution says.
Well, those are the revolutionaries, yeah.
Oh, I hadn't realized that recognizing what the Constitution says is a revolution. Well,
it is these days.
Right.
Today
right.
it is. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What am I thinking? Yes, of course, it's revolutionary these days to think of the Constitution as having an independent meaning.
Hey.
That we are obligated as citizens to respect, and our unfortunately our elected leaders, and including those who wear black robes, are become allergic to these notions.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, I'd like to take a quick call from Joe Leonard
Sure.
from Joe from Wyandotte. Sorry, no last names.
Okay.
And Joe, make it quick, okay? You there? Thought I pressed the right button. Derek? Okay, Joe's gone. All right. You there, Bob?
Okay.
Well, one thing that Joe and I have talked about actually is your campaign. And Joe's question had to do with Debbie Stabenow. I don't know what it was. That was in the notes. But something Joe and I have been hoping to see more from your campaign, and I hope you don't take this wrong. We'd like to see it a little more prominent. We'd like to, as particularly Facebook. I see you on Twitter.
Actually, I do have a fair bit of Facebook activity. Every couple of days or so, I have something that I post on topical issues that.
Okay, well, I follow your page, and it doesn't end up in. Maybe it's on my end. It doesn't seem to end up in my notifications. So that could be me, but
well, that's something I will talk to the folks. You know, I'm 66. Technology is a mystery to me, but we are trying to reach out and touch people with our electronic.
And we want
presence.
you to. We're for you.
And we're working on that. Part of us, I'm. You know, this isn't my first rodeo. I have run statewide 3 times, and that alone distinguishes me from all of the other people who are declared candidates in the Republican primary. And so I am doing what I've done in the 3 prior campaigns that I was in as a candidate for the Supreme Court. I'm running a grassroots campaign. I'm actively out every day talking to folks and meeting them. We're having a really wonderful response to our campaign out in the field, and it is gratifying to see people like you who are looking for a proven conservative.
We want an alternative.
Who is prepared to do the hard things.
Exactly. We want an alternative to the Democratic, Stabenow, Peters, basically the crowd that's basically, like you said, running us into the ground.
And you're the right guy for the job.
Well, I appreciate that. This isn't when I was retiring from the court. This wasn't my retirement project, actually.
Okay.
But it's the kind of thing that's my last act of public service.
That's great, Bob. And now the music's playing, and we've got to go. My apologies to Tom and Joe, who were both calling in, and we didn't have time for their calls. But, Bob, we're happy to have you on. And to the rest of our listeners, I encourage you to go to the Daily Drift for
the news you need to know.
There you go.
And BobYoungForMichigan.com or
Excellent.
Bob Young for Senate. Facebook.
Thanks, Bob.
Excellent. Have a great
You're going to
day.
win. I feel
Thank
it.
you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bless you.
Yep.
Bye. Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks.